ब्रिटेन में किंग्स क्रॉस शहरी कायाकल्प स्थल का दौरा करते हुए मुख्यमंत्री डॉक्टर मोहन यादव, देखी लाइव तस्वीर।
Years, try to do 20 years in 10 minutes and see how I get on. But, if you have any questions, please stop me. Ask questions, it's no problem. So related, Arjun, who are we? We are a UK-based business. Related Companies is the largest privately owned real estate developer in North America, who we partner with, and we're two of the largest privately owned real estate developers in North America and the UK. I'll kind of give you a scale of the pipeline. Currently we have 5 major projects in the city, in London. King's Cross, which I'll talk to you about. St Pancras Hostel, which is another site just over the other side of railway lines. Tottenham Hale. Brent Cross Town, which is a huge development about 10 minutes north of here. And our build-to-rent development called the King's Cross. As you'll see, most of those developments are pretty sizable, so we have about 13 billion GDP of developments underway. So I don't know how much you know about King's Cross. I'm assuming you know nothing about King's Cross, so I'll start.
I've been to King's Cross multiple times in 2004.
Oh, okay, that's changed quite a bit since
then.
So, year 2000, this photo, and we are currently, just to give you a bit, so you probably walked from the station or walked from the cars up here. We are in this building just here. Essentially this 67-acre site was owned by 2 parties. DHL, the logistics company, owned half of it, and London Continental Railways, which is essentially a government body, owned the other half.
What is the area in the dotted lines? Like how many area?
67 acres. 67. That was the best version of the dotted line I could do. So today, photo taken this year, that site now looks like this. Obviously very, very different. Essentially in the early 2000s, those 2 landowners went to market to find a development partner, and we were selected as their development partner. And then the 3 parties together formed the King's Cross Partnership as the developer of the site. DHL and London Continental Railways have now since sold on, but they were with the partnership for 10 years. Today the largest shareholder is Australian superannuation, the largest superannuation pension funds in the world, and they own about 74% of the estate. This is what it used to look like. So this is 1948. Again, we are sat in here. Very building, which you see in the 2 gravel sheds. So, as you can see, this was like the major industrial site for London Railways. It's where all the goods from the north of England came down to London and were then distributed onto the canal and horse and carts. So it was a very major industrial place. And then sort of post the Industrial Revolution, obviously for 30 years, it kind of became a bit of a forgotten place as less and less goods were transported via that way, and probably in the year 2000 was a bit of a no-go area. It wasn't necessarily unsafe, but there was nothing to do here. It was derelict land. So essentially, what we've done is taken a place for goods, closed off, disused and forgotten, and has been reinvented and reimagined, principally for people. And our kind of big ethos is that cities are for people. And if you can get people to turn up to places, they'll probably be successful. The main point. Years ago, but it shows you the kind of journey of construction was went on.
How was the ownership of the land transferred from the railways to the real estates?
It wasn't. The owners of the land came into partnership with us. So the three parties together, us and the two landowners, we went together in partnership. So it wasn't transferred.
It was a check. JV.
Yeah.
JV created. They were the owners, they were the developers. So the investment for the development would have come from your side.
Yeah, so they put in the land and we put in some money to match the land.
Yes.
So as you can see, all of those events, all of the estate now is kind of enlivened by people. The team here, we have an asset management team of about 50 people who work day to day running the estate, and we host around 150 to 200 events in the estate a year, so 3, 4 a week. Some of them are tiny, some of them are really big, and we use the whole estate to kind of enliven, and that's all paid for through service charge. We have now a footfall in excess of 20 million people a year come to the estate, and it's very much a place for people. So we have different summer events, outdoor cinemas, always prioritising pedestrians over cars. We use the square to this whole different. This was a climate change event, and then we have summer sounds events, concerts, the fountains out the front there, which are turned off today because it's quite cold, but in the summer. Hundreds and hundreds of children playing on those fountains. There's a day-to-day activity, and we hold various different event enlivenment. So all of this stuff, I think, building the buildings is just one part of it. Actually, kind of creating the environment that people and the events program that people want to engage with is the really kind of is where the real skill, I think. We kind of think of it like a theatre. So you spend a lot of time building the theatre, but ultimately people go to the theatre to watch what happens on the stage, not just stare at the stage. Also the ground floor, so we now have about 100 different retailers at King's Cross. Food and beverage has become kind of very well known here. We have queues of people going to every restaurant, so if you want to book into one of the restaurants, it's probably 6 weeks or so in advance you need to book into most of the restaurants. And then we also have a real commitment to kind of community in place. Most of these things that you'll see on the screen no longer, well, they're cool and basically they don't exist. They were here as we were going through on the vacant land. We were doing meanwhile uses, so the things we do kind of week in, week out are things like the market on the right hand side. Just to give you an idea, so 67 acres, has about 8 million square feet of gross mixed use development, 10 public spaces, 26 acres of public space out of 57, and about 2,000 homes, just under 2,000 homes, new homes, and about 4.25 million square feet of office space. We've never finished a square foot of office space on this estate without it being leased. We've never finished it. We've never had an empty square foot of floor space.
What is this 8 million square feet of gross mixed use? Gross mixed use?
So gross means the gross floor area, so total external envelope of development, and then mixed use means across all the use classes. So when you add up all of the development, all of the space that we've built here, it's 8 million square feet of development.
What's the large square feet?
67 acres.
The estate has a retained value now, and it's very close to £4 billion, and we've virtually completed that, the vertical development. In 2021, the estate was certified as carbon neutral, so we now are operationally carbon neutral. We're actually pursuing to get a net zero certification as well. We've built, run and operate our own energy centre here, so all of the buildings, heating and cooling is done through a central energy system that runs off biogas, so it's energy, carbon neutral in its operation day to day. All of the vehicles are electric, all the waste is recycled. So the whole estate can run completely off grid, so it doesn't need the main energy energy grid for heating and electricity.
How do you get this bioresource so much that you are able to run the plant to run this all?
Biogas, we import biogas.
You import biogas.
Yeah. And we have 3 large energy engines that basically heat the hot water that goes with big pipes of boiling water that go into each building that do heating and hot water. And the steam from those also generates a lot of electricity, which is topped up by photovoltaic panels on the roofs.
The residential value is now 1,600 pounds per square feet.
Yeah, about that.
Per square feet.
Correct, yeah.
Is this really that possible?
As much as that? Yeah, I mean, so the highest we've sold on the estate is 3,500. An average building is probably about, that's probably a bit older, probably about 1,800 per square foot is probably the residential value. Office rents are about £100 a square foot. They started, the first building we sold was
£100 square feet per year for
office rents. And I guess, our kind of focus on people is all about driving value. We very much believe that, particularly in today's world, if you're in a place where people want to be, then that will drive value. Social value, economic value, environmental value. So I think the reviews, when you see people sort of saying King's Cross is buzzing with people in a way that feels very good, that's actually kind of a real vote of confidence to employers to bring their business here. That's where people want to live, and it allows the retailers obviously to do very well, the shops and food and restaurants. So our major use here is workspace. It's about twice as much office space as there is residential space, and we have a kind of who's who list of occupiers. This is just some of them, but Google, Meta, Nike, AstraZeneca, Universal Music, Fass, Sony, they all have space on the estate, and whenever there is vacancy, which is rare, this space is let very, very quickly. We have, as I said, just under 2,000 homes. They range from government-supported social housing to very high-end expensive housing, and everything in the middle. We have homes for sale, homes for rent, at all price points. And on the retail front, so we have about 100 retail, leisure and hospitality brands, including, that's now about 28 actually. And kind of that goes from everything from very small takeouts to larger restaurants, and you can get almost any type of global cuisine in this estate, including a very good Indian restaurant, which has the biggest views actually.
You said 6 weeks of waiting time for a restaurant.
Yeah. For a lot of them don't take reservations, but those that do take reservations, 6 weeks or so for them to go through. Because they're very much renowned in the whole of London as great restaurants. The Indian restaurant at the bottom of the stairs, presume that doesn't take reservations, but there's about an hour and a half, 2-hour queue every night to get in there from about 6 p.m.
One is also connected to the
so certain retailers do have natural gas cooking, although that's something we're trying to move away from, to move to electric. But the energy centre is that what your question is?
I was talking about the tubes.
Yes, so this is a railway station and a tube station.
It was already a railway station, later on it was created.
Sorry, yes. The history was that King's Cross, King's Cross is the best connected train station in the whole of London. In 2005, when London won the 2012 Olympics, they moved the Channel Tunnel, which goes to Paris, they moved it from Waterloo to King's Cross, which made it even more the best connected. So it is an international and domestic and the rest of the country national railway station, and by far the most connected site in the whole station in the whole of London.
Biggest section.
This place was infested with crime, people say 25-30 years back this was area, and now it's very much secure.
Yeah.
Wells and everything used to be there, prevalent 30 years back.
Yeah.